Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Me and Rip are here. You can't see him, but he's laying here. So we'll see how long how long this lasts. He's yawning. Maybe he'll be a good boy. Yeah. But I'm here today to go over my goals for January. So reflect on January, what things went well, what things I can improve for February, and then kind of talk about February, things I want to focus on, my predictions. So this is not just wax focused. Wax is definitely a part of this, but this covers many areas of my life: health and fitness, religion, wax. So I will leave timestamps for each of the categories in the description box. So if you are just interested in seeing wax and health or whatever you are interested in, that you can jump around. So let's start with wax for January. You guys, it was a high buy month, I will admit. Trying to do a low buy in general for 2025, but I feel like January just had a lot going on. Vendors seem to have a lot of pre-orders in January because they've done their fall winter pre-orders. They take a break for the holidays, and then everybody's getting back into working gear come the new year. So this month was just riddled with openings and various things going on. I did not purchase from everything, obviously. Plenty of things I skipped, but Teddy Bees was this month, which was a very large amount of wax that I did get from that. Salt Mountain Melts had a pre-order this month that I did participate in. It's a small order, but I have skipped at least the last 2, maybe 3 pre-orders from her, and her wax is really beautiful. So I was itching to grab some of her wax, so I got a little bit of that. And then Scentsy was big in January. Scentsy had Bring Back My Bar. They had a really great flash sale. Really was happy with the items that I got in that 70% off flash sale, clearance sale, whatever you want to call it. And then they offered double the half price rewards for host. So I closed out a party in January, and you would be silly not to. You would be silly to not take advantage of double the rewards and get your product for free or half off. So overall in January, I definitely purchased more than I would like, but that's okay. Things that I felt like I did well, first off, I didn't buy from everything, obviously, and just getting smaller sizes. You know, my Teddy Bees order is only souffles. There's no tubs or loaves, and that's a big accomplishment for me. I mean, it's still a large order, not gonna lie, it is a large order, but I used to buy multiple loaves of scents at a time, and I'm trying to be better and not do that. So I do feel great progress at making sure that I'm buying these smaller sizes of items. I've also in January started tracking the dollar amount that I am spending on wax, because when I was thinking about my goals for 2025, one thing that I thought would kind of keep me in line wax wise is setting a budget. You have a certain amount of money that you can spend every year on wax. You have to fit it into this budget. And I was thinking about that, but then I realized I don't know even what a realistic number for me is, because I truly don't know what I spend on the wax in general. So this year is really for me just to track, figure out what I'm spending, and then go from there. So hopefully next year I'll make more of a budget. But I will say the January amount was eye-opening. Granted, we had Teddy Bees this month, and that the Teddy Bees months are always going to be the biggest, but it was eye-opening. So something I want to really think about in February. So my total inventory number definitely went up in January because I purchased Teddy Bees, we had Bring Back My Bar, etc. And the way I log things is I log it when I buy it. So I purchased Teddy Bees. I obviously don't physically have that product yet, but in my head it's in my collection and I write it down. So my number increased drastically by that. But I'm okay with that. I knew that was going to happen, and I really have been melting a lot. I've been trying my best to do weekly home fragrance empties just to keep up with it, have some more kind of just sit down chit chatty style of videos. So I've been trying to do a weekly empties if possible, and just feel like I got through a lot in January. Could be because, well, we had MLK Day, so I had an extra day off work. I do work outside of the home pretty much 5 days a week. Occasionally I work from home. It just depends on what's going on at work, but I would say 95% of the time I'm in the office. But I did have a couple of work from home days this month, more than normal, because in the beginning of January we got a lot of snow, and so I had 3 extra days at home that I wouldn't normally have. So that definitely helped as well. So got through a lot of wax, but definitely brought a lot of wax in. So nothing about January honestly was much of a no buy, or a low buy, I should say, not a no buy, but it wasn't a low buy either. In February, I really don't envision too much happening. I know that it is transition month for Scentsy, but there isn't anything, I don't need to stock up on anything, so nothing I'm going to be purchasing from there, other than I did get, the new catalogs. I got the 10 new scents to the catalog, which I will do a review on whenever those bars come in, and I got testers for customers. So I did make that purchase for Scentsy, but that's all I envision purchasing for February. As far as vendor wax, I know that Knowles is having a pre-order, as well as Lavender and Speckles. So I'm still figuring out what I'm doing about those. I don't know. We'll see when the time comes. I'm on the fence about both of them, to be honest with you. So we'll see as it goes. But in general, I look at my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm definitely planning on a much leaner month in February, which I think will naturally happen because a lot of things happened in January. So I really hope that come March, when I sit down and film this video, that February was a much better low buy month. Did you guys purchase from any openings this year, or I mean in January? Did you participate in the flash sale? What did you guys snag? If you did, if you're doing a low buy, I would love to know how you guys are doing in the comments. I think that's everything for wax. My monthly challenge. So part of what I wanted to do for 2025 was take every single month and do kind of a mini challenge where I pick something and focus on it. And, it could be health related or personal development or getting my house in order, whatever. In January, I did dry January. So no alcohol for the month of January. It's pretty common. I think a lot of people do January. Normally I like to do dry January, and I like to do dry July. So probably in July I will do it again. I just feel cleansed. I don't know how to describe it. I don't drink a lot. I really don't. But I like taking the full kind of breaks from it. So I got really close. I did not meet it every single day. There was one day that I broke this, and it was because we had a really nice work dinner with some colleagues that were in town from Boston. And I thought, well, if you're going to drink wine on somebody else's dime, this is the perfect time to do it. So I did have 2 glasses of wine on January 15th for a work dinner, but the rest of the time was completely sober. So I'm very proud of myself for doing that. The one in February I decided I want to do is to get 10,000 steps a day. And Some days I get 10,000 steps, honestly, probably most days, but not every single day. And so this is going to be a push for me just to be making sure that I'm up and moving and active and hitting that 10,000 steps a day. If I am active during the day and I take a walk, I'll hit it no problem. It's just a matter of making sure that I'm doing it. So hit your 10,000 steps a day. If you want to join me, would love to have you do this with me. I have an Apple Watch. You can get any sort of basic kind of Fitbit tracker to help you. Even your phone, if you have an iPhone, it will help track your steps. I don't know how accurate that is because you really have to have your phone on you 100% of the time. But if that's all you have, that's better than nothing. Or just even if you don't track it, take this as a challenge just to get out and move. If it's good weather, I know February can be really rough weather here too, for a lot of people. But if you have the ability to get out, do laps around your house, whatever it is, get moving. So that is my plan for February, to get 10,000 steps a day. I guess kind of on that same vein, let's pivot to kind of my fitness, my workout, health types of goals. So January was really hard as far as walking. Normally I walk almost every single day. I take Rip on walks every single day for the most part. I think he deserves it. I need it too. And January was really hard to walk because of the weather. So it snowed a foot at the beginning of January, and then a couple of days later, we ended up getting like 3 more inches on top of that. So we had a lot of snow. I'm filming this on February 1st. I still see snow outside. It has been so cold and it snowed so much that snow will not melt. And it is just now starting to be completely gone. And you had nowhere to go. I would try to walk in the neighborhood. There's 6-foot snow piles blocking the sidewalks, and it was a mess. It was crazy. I have never seen snow like that here. I've never seen snow linger for this long. And let me tell you, I am so glad it's almost gone because it was dirty and nasty. It was beautiful when it was coming down, but it lingering for a month was crazy. So it definitely impacted us being able to walk because there really wasn't anywhere safely to walk. And then we had a lot of really bitter cold days in the single digits, in the teens, and that's not safe for Rip or me. And so we did not walk as much as we really needed to. And finally, when I've been able to get out the last couple days, when the snow has melted, it has been so nice to get out and walk. And so I'm really hopeful that February stays decent weather to be able to just be outside a little bit more, because January was tough weather-wise. So definitely hoping to walk a little bit more. Workouts, I feel like, went really well this past month. I hit my goal. My goal is to do 12 workouts a month or 3 days a week. But I feel like I definitely need to push myself more in February or work out even more. I was doing like 20-25 minute workouts, which I'm very proud of myself because before I wasn't doing anything. So doing 12, 20 to 25 minute workouts is more than I've done in a couple of months. But in February, I want to push myself even more and try to do them for longer stretches and just get more workouts in during the month. I'm trying to do like weight loss, health kind of vlogs, documenting my journey, things that I'm going through, feelings that I'm having, updates about exactly where I'm at. So I will save the rest of those updates, like weight and things like that, for that video. But I am happy with January, but I'm really excited to be out and about more in February. I wanted to hike in January. That did not happen because of the snow. And then now everything is so muddy. I don't even know where to take Rip where we wouldn't just be in a total mud pit. So I'm hoping February is a little bit drier and we can spend some more time outside. I also have a religious goal for the year. It's something that's been important to me for a really long time, but I feel like I haven't been a very practicing Christian in also a long time. So I'm going to church, been doing that every week. And one of my big goals this year is to read the Bible in its entirety. So been doing pretty good with that. I'm not reading it every single day, but I would say I'm hitting 4 or 5 days out of the week I'm reading it. So I need to be better in February. The only reason I'm going to hit finishing it in 2025 is if I read every day. So maybe I'm a little bit behind then technically. But in January, I read the books of Genesis, most of Exodus. I'm working on Exodus right now. I read all of Job, and I read Ruth. If you guys have not read the book of Job, if you're religious and you haven't read Job, I highly recommend it. Job is such a powerful story about a man who had it all and had great faith. And God essentially took all of his blessings in life away from him and made his life very hard. And Job still had great faith. And so that book in general really stuck out to me in this month, that when things are hard, people turn and blame God or lose their faith in God. Why would God let this happen to me? Etc., etc. But Job is such a great example of a man who had unwavering faith, whether he had the best days of his life or the worst days of his life. So that's something out of the month of Bible readings that I read really stuck with me, was that book. So I'm sure if you're watching this portion of the video, maybe that is of interest to you, or you share the same religious beliefs that I do, but just was a really powerful month. So I'm going to keep on my journey in February. And yeah, I'm excited for this year to come with reading the Bible. Financial goals are also a big part of my 2025. This is limiting the products I'm bringing into my home, using up my skincare before I buy more, just being mindful about my purchases more. I think I have a lot of work to do in that. January showed me that it's really tough, really, really tough. But some things I did in January, I mean, I'm tracking what I'm spending. That is a huge win in my book. I also canceled my Amazon Prime and I canceled my Allure Beauty Box subscription service. The Allure I canceled because it's $200 something in a month. And I love that subscription service. It gives you a lot of amazing products for a great price, but I don't need the products right now. I'm trying to get through the products that I have. If you've been on my channel before, you see that I have a couple of Project Use It Ups I kind of consistently have going, trying to get through just the body care type items I have in this house, skincare, perfumes, etc. So that's something that I will consider getting again in the future once I get my collection of stuff down a little bit more. But to make progress on that goal and to make progress on some of my financial goals, I needed to cut that. Another thing was Amazon Prime. My Amazon Prime membership was renewing, luckily, right around the new year, and I decided to cut it. Now, I buy a lot off of Amazon, but a lot of the things you really can get free shipping on, you just might have to wait a few more days for it. And I don't mind waiting 3 or 4 days instead of waiting one, if it's going to save me like, $180 a year. So I haven't had Amazon Prime all of January, and sure, have there been times when I've been like, oh, I would love that tomorrow? Yeah, but 99% of the time, it's been totally fine waiting for it. So I'm glad that I canceled it. It's just money in my pocket. So just right there, that's almost, it's like $400 of money that I didn't have to spend unnecessarily. So I can put that $400 in my savings account. I can put that towards, additional principal on my mortgage payment and get that down a little bit. Loads of things that I could do. So I feel good with those things in January and just want to keep watching my spending even more in February. So to end this video, some of the fun things that I've been doing in January and just kind of some favorites are journaling. I mentioned journaling a little bit in a chopping chat video that I have. I'm not sure if you've seen it already or if you will see it here soon, but I've been doing a lot of journaling and journal spreads, and I won't talk too much about it here because I chat about it in that video, but really been enjoying some of that creativity, and it's been good for my mental health. I think kind of gives me something to do with my hands and lets me be creative in some ways. So I've been doing that. My dad and I are on a big puzzle kick. I will go years without doing a puzzle, and then I'll do a couple in a row. Winter is a great time to do those types of indoor activities for me, and we've been really enjoying putting puzzles together, and that's just been a lot of fun and something that I can do in the home that's not sitting and watching TV or scrolling wax sites. So just finding other little things to do. So I've been enjoying that a lot. And then lastly, I started a Facebook page called Scents and Sentences in the month of January. So this was a page that I had been kind of thinking about doing something like this for a while. And then one of you left a comment on a video asking if I had ever considered doing something like that. And Stephanie and Summer really encouraged me to kind of take the leap and create this Facebook page. So I'll have it linked down below if you're interested in joining, but essentially it is a place where we talk about wax and books. I love to read. I know a lot of you love to read as well. I've been incorporating that a little bit more on my channel, but just a place where we can talk about wax we're melting and books that we're reading. And we've been having a lot of fun over there. We also started a book club in that group. So right now we're reading Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. And on Friday, February 21st, we'll be doing a live to discuss. And I really want it to be interactive. I want us to have, many people on the lives and rotate and just have a fun kind of virtual little book club. A book club is something that I have wanted to be a part of in general for a long time, but I never knew in my area kind of where they were, how to find them, or know anybody that was in one, and so I've never been a part of one. So having this little online group of waxies that love to read it's been so much fun. And the first book we read was so good. So definitely setting the standard very high for what's to come as far as reading for the rest of the year. But that has been a real joy in January, and I'm so thankful that Stephanie and Summer kind of gave me the push and the encouragement to do it. Summer came up with the name of the group, which Summer can come up with the best names, so really appreciate that from her. But yeah, if you guys like reading, if you like wax, if you want to chat, you want to do a monthly book club, please join. Would love to have you over there. I think that's it for the month. So it was a good month. Could be better. My health and fitness could be better. Various aspects I feel like I did really well, and various things I think I need to work a lot more on. I will say, I do feel like I have a lot of goals for 2025, and I knew that going into 2025 that I probably was overwhelming myself. So I am proud at the progress, the discipline that I had in January to be working on each of these goals. I'm really happy about that, and I am excited for what's to come the rest of the year. But that is everything. That is my kind of reflection on January, and very excited to see how February turns out. Fingers crossed that the weather stays good. and we don't get a new snowstorm on top of what is finally finishing melting. What goals do you guys have for 2025? How did you do in January? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so very much for watching. I know there are so many people on YouTube, and so if you take the time out of your day to click on this video and watch it, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have a really good rest of your day, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.